Welcome back. I'm that Halloween movie collector, Pat. This episode, I'm going to take a look at my top 5 horror movies to watch in 2023. 2022 was a great year for horror. I just did my top 5 horror movies for 2022. A little divisive. Heard from a few heard from a few people, but you know what? Those were my particular top 5. There was some I left off. There were some, big ones like Pearl and X and Scream 5 and all that stuff. While I liked all those movies, I just kept it to top 5. I try to keep these to just my top 5. So just understand why I did it that way. There were plenty of other ones. Maybe I'll do a part 2 and pick up from 6 to 10. But those were my top 5. And this is my top 5 horror movies to see in 2023. 2023, I don't know if it's going to be as good about horror movies as 2022 was, but there's a few on there that are going to looking pretty good. Most of them are horror comedies, to be quite honest with you, but just the premises of those horror comedies are just must-see movies. So let's get into it. My number 5 horror movie to see in 2023, Scream 6. March 10th, 2023, Scream 6 is going to be released. Now, Scream 5, I did like it. It was a little sad saying goodbye to David Arquette's character. It was bound to happen. They were going to have to kill off some OG character. Who would have thought? You would have thought they would have killed off Sidney Prescott, but at the time, I guess nobody kind of realized that Nev Campbell would not come back. So I'm looking forward to seeing it because I want to see where they go with this franchise, sans Nev Campbell now. Not to mention, it's going to be very strange that they're going to be picking it up in New York City, vis-a-vis Jason Takes Manhattan. Hopefully it's not like a Jason Takes Manhattan where it was more like Jason Takes Toronto, Ontario, Canada, because that's exactly what it looked like until the last 5-10 minutes when they actually filmed in Times Square. I'm from the New York area, so I know it well. That's why when I first saw that movie, I'm like, this is not Manhattan. So let's see where they go with Scream in Manhattan. Hopefully this is a better Manhattan horror movie than Jason Takes Manhattan. So looking forward to seeing it. I like Jenna Ortega in part 5. Curious to see where her character goes from here and how they develop the story without Sidney Prescott. So that's my number 5. My number 4 horror movie to see in 2023 is The Exorcist. Yes, Blumhouse is doing a direct sequel to the original Exorcist, released on October 10th of 2023. So I'm very curious to see this because I'll be very happy to forget about the original Exorcist sequel, Exorcist 2: The Heretic, which was complete dog shit. And everybody give love to Exorcist 3. Exorcist 3 was a much better movie than most people give it credit for. One of the most perfect jump scares in horror history. So I'm curious to see where they go because, I did like how they went from, I'm a Halloween guy, so I liked how they picked up 2018's Halloween 2018 directly from the original, and it was a nice transition, and I enjoyed that. Granted, I love my Halloween 2 and all the other sequels. I'm a Halloween guy. That's what this channel is, and that's what you see behind me. I'm just a Halloween geek. But I did like where they went with it, so I'm hoping that they correct the mistakes that were done by the original Exorcist sequel. So very much looking forward to that, and I do like the Blumhouse style of horror movies, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that one. So that is my number 4. And my number 3 is one that'll be out in a week or so as of this recording, is Megan. I love me some Chucky. I love the animatronic killers. I just saw, made my top 5 list of horror movies with Bloody Christmas on Shudder with the animatronic killer Santa. I love that kind of shit. I'm a big, Terminator fan, so I love that stuff. So this one looks kind of cool. It looks like it's like an animatronic, robot, and it just looks very, very cool. I like the premise, it's sort of a Chucky premise, but it's nice to see like a modern day version of something that's sort of like a Chucky, and hopefully, while I love my Chucky, not to offend those Chucky fans, the later Chucky sequels just got a little bit too goofy for me. So I'm hoping that this almost reminds me, just from looking at the trailer, the whole story of how this is going to, help a particular little girl, friends and whatever. I like that whole premise, vis-a-vis. To me, for some reason, it gives me the Good Son vibes. For some reason, I don't know why. If you remember The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin from many, many moons ago, great movie. But looking forward to it. It looks very cool, and the animatronic looks very cool I think it actually looks better than the Chucky remake. And I did enjoy the Chucky remake, so looking forward to seeing Megan. My number 2, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Yes, a Winnie the Pooh killer movie. Just the top 2 that you're going to see are more for just nostalgia and comedy that I want to see these. So Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey comes out on February 15th, 2023. Now, the idea of a killer Winnie the Pooh, I'm surprised people that, well, maybe when it comes out, people will be more up in arms about it because it's a beloved children's character. Just like, what was the Sid and Marty Krofft movie that came out a few years ago? The Banana Splits. So I grew up watching the Banana Splits and Sid and Marty Krofft TV shows on the weekends, on Saturday morning cartoons. And when they said they were coming out with the killer Banana Splits, I'm like, okay, all bets are off. So the Winnie the Pooh horror movie, definitely going to be looking forward to that. And it's a horror comedy. So that's, like I said, there's a little bit of horror comedy on this list, actually the top 2, because moving on to my number 1. My number 1 is clearly Cocaine Bear. Releasing on the 24th of February, Cocaine Bear is actually based on a true story, which sounds crazy. A bear consumes a ton of cocaine and goes on a killing rampage. Sign me up. I want to watch this. I'll be sitting there with a couple of beers and snacks, and I'll be laughing my ass off. So Cocaine Bear is definitely one to watch. While this list is not made up, it is not going from 5 to 1 being like best to worst quality. It's just simply what I'm looking forward to watching for various reasons. And as you can hear just from the title of my number 1, Cocaine Bear, there's a reason why. Because it's one of those things like, okay, you got to see this movie. So Cocaine Bear is definitely my number 1. Looking forward to seeing it in February, my birthday month. So 2 good horror movies coming out my birthday month. So it's going to be very interesting. So check it out. There you go. Going forward, 2023, there'll be a lot more top 5s each week. Some other content coming on this channel. I still will be doing my collectible spotlights. If you want to see my Halloween collection or any of the collectibles behind me or the rest of them that will be back out after I put my tree away, you can go check out my Instagram page, which is that Halloween movie collector, where my collection is. If you see something you want to do a collectible spotlight on, you're a collector, reach out to me. Any type of collection, horror, music, just anything. Love meeting other collectors and chatting and doing videos with you guys. Also, every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we do the Halloween Collectors Podcast over on my good buddy's channel, Michael Horror and Pinball. Go check it out. We just hang out, talk movies, reviews, collectibles, and just get in trouble and have a bunch of drinks. Make asses of ourselves, pretty much. So go check it out. There's also a Facebook group for that. Go check it out. Jump in there. You'll see what's going on in the podcast, future episodes, and whatnot. While in Facebook land, go check out Halloween and Michael Myers Collectors Group. If you're a collector of Halloween memorabilia or any type that you just love the Halloween franchise, soup to nuts, everything's in that group. Go check it out. And also on the Twitter world, you're going to see that Halloween Movie Collectors on Twitter. Post some stuff on there when I can. And there's also the Halloween Collectors Podcast. Is also on Twitter too. It's a media onslaught. You got to be everywhere so everybody can see you and know what's going on. So this will be coming out after the New Year's. I hope everybody has a happy and healthy New Year. I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday. It's nice that everything fell on a weekend. So everybody got the majority of people hopefully got that extra day on Monday. So I'm hoping everybody has a great year. Hopefully it's a great year in movies, horror movies, Halloween, collectibles. Well, we're still in the midst of a Halloween hangover from all the Halloween hoopla, with Halloween ends and whatnot. But let's face it, I'm a Halloween guy. It's Halloween every day with that Halloween movie collector. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I will talk to you soon.